Welcome to AI Paper Drop. I'm Alex.
And I'm Maya. What if the secret to catching a machine pretending to be a human is not a complex algorithm, but a single punctuation mark?
A punctuation mark? That sounds too simple. You're telling me we could just look for a comma or a period and know it is AI?
Not just any mark, a very specific kind of dash. And according to a new study, this tiny sliver of ink is acting as a digital fingerprint, revealing that AI has quietly moved into the heart of the US Capitol.
Okay, so we're talking about Congress. Now, if you have ever read a congressional press release, they're a very specific kind of writing. Polished, a bit formal, sometimes a little dry.
Exactly. And for a long time, we have all just been guessing how much of that is actually written by humans. We see a phrase that feels a bit too corporate or a structure that feels a bit too perfect, and we think, maybe a bot wrote this?
Right? It is like the vibe check. But vibes are not evidence. You cannot go to a researcher and say, this press release feels like it was written by ChatGPT.
Right, because AI is designed to be a chameleon. It is designed to mimic the professional tone of a human staffer. So the ghost in the machine is basically invisible because the text is too polished to detect by eye.
So how do you actually prove it? If the words themselves are designed to blend in, where do you look?
You look at the things humans find annoying to do. The researchers in this paper basically became linguistic detectives. They analyzed over 146,000 press releases from the House and Senate between 2021 and 2025.
146,000. That is a massive data set. What were they hunting for?
The unspaced M dash. You know, that long dash used to set off a phrase like this one.
Okay, but people use dashes all the time. Why is that a tell?
Because of a clash between how humans write and how AI is trained. Most professional political writing in the US follows AP style. And in AP style, you put spaces around your dashes. Space dash space.
Wait, so the human professional says, put a space here for readability, but the AI does not.
Exactly. LLMs love the unspaced version. Word dash word. No gaps. Think of it like a keyboard cost. For a human, an M dash is a pain. There is no dedicated M dash key on your keyboard. You have to know a weird shortcut or a specific sequence of keys to make one appear.
True. I usually just hit the hyphen key twice and hope for the best.
Right. Most humans just use a hyphen because it is right there. But for an AI, producing a perfect, unspaced M dash is as effortless as typing the letter A. It is a stylistic default.
So the AI is essentially overperforming. It is being too grammatically correct according to formal typesetting, but in doing so, it is ignoring the local customs of the press room.
Exactly. It is like someone moving to a new city and speaking the dictionary version of the language. They are technically correct, but they sound like a robot because they are not using the local slang.
That is a brilliant way to trap them. So they look at all these thousands of releases over 4 years. What do the data actually show?
It is a total hockey stick graph. From 2021 through 2024, the density of these unspaced dashes was flat. It just stayed at a very low baseline.
So people were just writing the way they always had.
Right. But then, in 2025, it just explodes. The frequency more than doubled compared to the previous 4 years.
Wait, more than doubled? In a single year? That is actually wild.
It is. And this was not just a few tech-savvy offices jumping on a trend. They looked at offices that were active across the whole time period, and 75% of them saw an increase in these AI marks.
But could just be a change in style? Maybe some new head of communications came in and decided, we are done with AP style. Let us use M dashes now.
The researchers thought of that. They ran a falsification test. They checked the usage of regular hyphens. If this were just a general shift toward more complex punctuation, hyphens would have gone up too.
And let me guess, they did not.
Nope. Hyphen density stayed rock steady. Only the M dash spiked. That tells us this is not a stylistic evolution of human writing. It is a signature of a tool being plugged in.
What is fascinating to me is the timing. ChatGPT hit the scene late 2022, But the real explosion in the data happens in 2025. Why the delay?
That is the most interesting part of the paper. They call it delayed diffusion. It suggests that these offices did not just jump in on day one. They waited.
Why wait?
Because the early versions of AI were too obvious. They had that weird, overly polite AI smell. The researchers think offices waited until the models became natural enough to pass as professional before they adopted them en masse.
So they waited for the AI to get better at lying before they started using it to speak for the government.
Precisely. And the craziest part is that this happened across the board.
Which is kind of poetic in a dark way. The political divide is huge, but the algorithmic rhythm is exactly the same.
It really is. It means the official voice of the US government is being homogenized. We are moving toward a world where the way our leaders communicate is shaped by the same weights and biases of a few large models.
I wonder if the staffers even realize they're doing it. Like they prompt the AI, it gives them a great draft, and they just hit send without noticing the punctuation.
Exactly. It is a blind spot. We focus on the big things like hallucinations or bias, but we miss the tiny things, like a dash without a space.
It makes you wonder what else is hiding in plain sight. If a dash can tell us this much, what else are the models leaving behind?
Maybe nothing. Or maybe everything. But for now, the M dash is the smoking gun.
It really brings home the point that when the machine provides the voice, we have to ask who is actually speaking.
If you are enjoying this, follow or subscribe to AI Paper Drop wherever you listen. It really helps, and we have a new episode every day.
Paper by Pershimis Lachuma, produced by AI Paper Drop.